Hey, Gary here with you. Day 19, AI blogging with ChatGPT and GrooveBlog. We're taking a look at PageSpeed insights today. We have this performance issue. We did talk about this actually being the images, and I said incorrectly that you cannot resize the images inside of GrooveBlog. This note was actually from Life Church St. Louis. Thanks for this comment. GrooveBlog does allow you to crop and resize images. When you have uploaded the image, click on the three dots on the image and then on the crop symbol, which is good. And I also Googled the recommended size for blog post featured image to really get an idea for what I want my image size to be. Also, I took a look at Pixabay because I was trying to think, how can I represent this so you guys can see what I'm talking about here? And the mention that I got in the comments was about resizing the image, because I was thinking about compression and smushing the image, or how I showed you could do that with some online software, or how I do it with WordPress plugins. But when you're on Pixabay, you can see here that if you just resize the image, then it changes the file size. Now we're going to go with this recommended 1200 by 628 pixels that we got from blog.hubspot, this Google snippet here. And then we're simply just going to go look at Universe Unriddled. And we're going to start with these 5 popular posts that we have right here. And we'll go back to PageSpeed Insights because we're getting a 23. And we're going to look at the images. And you can see it is the first 3 images here that are really causing the big problem. And I'm not sure how much, even with the resize, this is going to improve the performance, because the simple matter of the fact is, or the simple fact of the matter is that we're stacking all these images, no matter how small we make them, without some type of lazy load mechanism. It is going to really be a performance issue. But let's go ahead and try this inside of GrooveBlog to see how it works, and then talk a little bit more about what's happening with the blog as far as ranking and clicks. So we want to resize these first 3. So we'll take a look at these images here, and we'll just go off of our eye. And the first one here is going to be Spot Planets with Ease, a naked stargazing guide. So we'll go into the post and we will just find that. I think you can do a search here, and I think a keyword here will be the naked. That's going to be one that's easy to find, and we will open the editor, because what we want to do is we want to resize this image, the feature image here. So we're going to select choose on that featured image, and you can see here that we need to, and I forgot what the image is. It's the guy in the night sky. But first you can see here, this is 6,000 pixels by 4,000 pixels. Again, going back to 1200 by 628 is the recommended WordPress featured image size, which is what we're actually playing with here, is the featured image. So we'll choose that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go find that image, and you can see that image right here. Now that comment, thank you very much for that, by the way, talks about you can delete, or see these 3 little lines here. I didn't even think about clicking on those 3 little lines. And I knew the delete was there, but I never even thought about this little crop image symbol here. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and then I'm going to set this to what we want to crop it. Again, to the recommended 1200 by 628. So I'm just going to come here, and I'm going to, I think I need to unlock this and go 1200 by 628. Did it take the 8? And you can see here it's changed those dimensions. I'm going to select crop and select. I'm going to get a note here. The image is still saved on our server, untouched in its original version. The cropped image is only used where you're placing it in the app or the canvas at this time. If you later want to use the image again, it will load the original version off the server. You can choose to not show this again. I'm just going to leave that there, so I'll always get it, because I'm definitely going to forget that. Crop and select. Now you can see it is 1200 pixels by 628, and we're going to publish that, and then we're going to run our test again. We're going to let that post publish in progress, so we're going to let that push out and make sure that it gets published. And while we're waiting on that to publish, it's probably already published, but we're going to let it just make sure that it does before we run our test again. You can see over in Google Search Console, we're up to 6 clicks, 163 impressions, and you can see the queries that we are ranking for. If we go to pages, you can see now that we have 18 pages indexed, and you can click here to view the data about those pages. And then you can see the pages here going back to May 1st, April 30th, April 29th, and April 28th. Of course, today is May 3rd as I'm making this update video. One quick note, I don't get my Koala credits back till May 7th, so I'm using ChatGPT to move forward with creating all these posts. You can see here for astronomy basics, I have 25 blog posts, and also I created that moon phase category because the majority of these, if you go under the topical authority list, I was creating phases of the moon blog post based on the main category of astronomy basics. And you can see I created all of those to include the moon phase photography tips that I talked about in the last update, where I'm going to move away from photography. And since I was doing that, I just took the opportunity to go ahead and create the cosmology basics because I wanted astronomy and cosmology as my two basics. And then I jumped in, or I'm going to be jumping into the Big Bang Theory. And you can see down here, I have Big Bang Theory overview and all of these to create. But before I created those, the first article I created with ChatGPT is an introduction to cosmology. And you can see here the title, Cosmology Basics, a comprehensive introduction to the universe. That was fully done with ChatGPT. And if you check out that article, it actually took me 2 hours to create that with ChatGPT. And we have published that, so we'll also go ahead and exit and save here as well. And here is that Cosmology Basics, a comprehensive introduction to the universe. We'll go ahead and open that editor, and I'll just show you this post because I did mention that it is now a category, or a new category, Cosmology Basics. So you can see we have Astronomy Basics, Phases of the Moon, and now Cosmology Basics. And again, I did say this took me 2 hours. I'll go ahead and scroll through here. You can see I've embedded some videos. I created tables. I created external links, grabbed some images from NASA as well. And again, more videos embedded. Some recommended reading here. These are going to be Amazon links. Obviously, I'm going to include my affiliate link there, but I haven't done that yet. And you can see, again, this was a 2-hour post, but you can see why it took me 2 hours to do this with ChatGPT. And honestly, I'm not sure that Koala, just from the single click that you could get, or the single click that you use to get the post, can compete with the type of post that I put together here, sort of as a pillar post or as a cornerstone of Cosmology Basics, a comprehensive introduction to the universe. But that is what it is. It takes the time it takes, and remember, AI is your assistant, so you're putting your editor hat on and you're letting AI create the content, and then you're going through and editing that. So let's go back here to PageSpeed Insights and go ahead and run this analysis again. Let it perform its diagnostics, or let it diagnose the performance issues. And while that is spinning, again, I want to thank Life Church St. Louis for letting me know that GrooveBlog does allow you to crop and resize the image just by simply clicking and cropping that image. We should be able to see. Back here at the PageSpeed Insights, and you can see the performance actually went down. But let's test our theory. Yes, the size did change, because you can see if we scroll down, this image now is 22 kilobytes, but we need to go and we need to recompress this one and this one, or not compress, but change the size and then come back and test. But you can see that it's still 21%, but this is going to depend on any time you hit it, depending on the JavaScript and some of these blocking resources. But the idea here is, and the concept that I'm waiting on, or the answer I'm waiting on to test this concept, is what is GrooveBlog? What is Groove going to do to help me with this issue? Yes, now that I know, thanks to the comment, again, I appreciate it. I can go and I can resize these, and it definitely impacted the file size. So I'm going to go do that for all of my posts. I'm going to go do that recommended 1200 by 628 by going into each post, specifically starting with the ones that I have in popular post, and resize those images. Again, we'll go back into search post and we'll look for best binoculars. This best binoculars right here, if we open the editor, You can see I do have that in the popular post down here. Of course, I could always take it out, but you can see here, this is also 5,472 pixels by 3,648 pixels. So we'll choose that image again, and then we'll find that image. I wish it would highlight it. Let me find it. I wish it would highlight it, but it didn't. And we'll go here and we will crop that image. Again, we'll unlock that and we will say 1200 by 628. And then we will crop and select. Here's that note again. You can see again, 1200 pixels by 628. We will publish that. Then we will exit and we will save. So now we've done two of them. We've done the naked stargazing and the best binoculars. We can come down here to frequently asked questions, and then we'll do the same here. We'll go ahead and open the editor. You can see this one, 2007-61 by 1840. We'll choose that. Again, I wish it would highlight it because now I have to search for it. And then I come down and I will crop this one, unlock that, 1200 by 628. And then I will crop and select, crop and select. You can see that it's now changed. I will publish that. I will exit and save. The next one in that list was unlocking lunar mysteries. We'll go ahead and do this final one. Have a check here, 3,187 by 2,691 pixels. We'll go ahead and choose that one. Go ahead and choose that one. And one more time, man, if it would just select it for me, this would go a lot quicker. There it is. And we'll go ahead and crop that one. If you don't unlock it, you can see here that it keeps it relative or keeps it in perspective. But we want to unlock that so we can do the 628 and just follow suit with that feature image. We'll go ahead and crop that, crop that. You can see that's changed. We'll go ahead and publish. We're going to go ahead, exit and save. It says down there that post was published. Usually it happens pretty fast. Here again, back in PageSpeed's Insights, we have a 21. Again, we're stacking all these, so without some type of additional compression that we could do and or GrooveBlog could do for us, or some type of lazy load, I don't know with all of these images if we're going to do that much better. But these should definitely be smaller. This 263.2, this 204.45, and this 117. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click Analyze. We're going to let that run the analysis, and then we'll be right back. And we are back, and you can see the performance 22. We're going to come down here. You can see that we are getting those images, or actually reduce unused JavaScript is now an issue. That's 1.65 seconds. So we have some Google Tag Manager stuff here, and we also have Groove Video. Again, that's all Groove stuff inside of GrooveBlog. But you can see the properly sized images is down to 1.49 seconds. So we've done what we can do as far as cropping those images, but you can still see that we're getting a 22 on performance. On mobile, on desktop, we're getting a 75. Again, with all these images, I'm not sure that we'll ever get away from that as far as the number of seconds or the size. Of course, we could keep compressing them or trying to change the resolution, but at some point it's going to be more of a GrooveBlog issue. That's just my opinion. I think GrooveBlog has to help out with this and figure out how to get this performance better for mobile. Again, I think it'll take some lazy loading or something like that, but I don't know what impact that would have. Maybe a switch where you could turn that on and off, depending on if you have a blog post that you need the images to load up front, or the blog post doesn't make sense, or whatever. Again, these are all things that we're doing in this case study. I am working with Groove. They are somewhat responsive to some of my queries, and I'm just waiting for them to reply back to that. I'll actually send them this video as well inside of that ticket so they can see it. If you have any questions, of course, thanks again for the comment about being able to resize it. That's part of why I'm doing this, because when you're doing these types of experiments, there's small things that you can tweak in the platform you're using. Like inside of WordPress, there's different types of plugins, different options, whether in the native WordPress or specifically or for sure when you actually use different plugins, there's crazy amounts of different switches that you can turn on, you can turn off, but that's what we're doing here. But the cool thing is we're getting indexed, we're getting clicks, we are having those pages that we're creating served up by Google. So let's see over the next few days, all the way out to 100 days, where we actually get with this experiment or this case study. Thanks for watching. Got any questions? Ask them in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.